Today we're going over all the parts I've used to build my Tundra. For each part, there's going to be an install or review video link to it, as well as a product link in the description. So if you want to check those out, those are all going to be in the description. Let's start off with my suspension. I'm using Bilstein 5100 struts with Old Man Emu 2885 coils. That's what I have on the front. The rear is actually still on factory leaf springs. The truck sits about level. Sometimes the rear sits a little bit lower. Since I haven't added anything to it, it can sag when I add gear. I'd like to add an Adelie. I don't have any complaints about the ride quality. Honestly, the truck drives great. I've driven across the country at about 80 miles an hour and I have no complaints. I've been very happy through the first 8 to 10,000 miles I've had with it, both on and off road. I took it to Colorado on some rough, unmaintained roads. The truck did really well. I'm not using aftermarket upper control arms. My front lift is about 2 inches, so my alignment shop was able to get it into an alignment without an aftermarket upper control arm. If you're going higher than that on a budget, I'd recommend either the JBA upper control arm or the Freedom Off-Road one. Otherwise, the SPC arms are great for fine-tuning adjustments and for more serious suspension modifications. Keep in mind, the higher that you lift the vehicle, the more problems you create and the more severe the wear on the vehicle. So for tires, I chose Falken Rubitrek tires that are about 32 inches tall. The actual size is 235/85 R16. These are really skinny tires, skinnier even than the stock tire size, which is usually a 245 or 255 width. I've always had good luck with Falken tires. I had a pair of Wild Peaks that wore and rode great. I had them for about 20,000 miles. This time I decided to try the Rubitrek. The Rubitrek is slightly less aggressive and it should be slightly less noisy. It's not super light, it's an E-rated tire, but I've been happy with it so far. I wanted skinny tires for a few reasons. First, they're great in the snow, which is one of my primary anticipated road conditions and off-road conditions. They have less rolling resistance since they have a reduced contact with the ground, so they won't have quite as negative effect on MPG. They won't rub on the upper control arm when using stock wheels. If you go wide enough and tall enough with your tire, you're going to need wheel spacers or aftermarket wheels to fit your tires. They also fit my eye. I like the old retro utilitarian look of skinny tires. After about 10,000 miles, these Rubitreks are still doing really good. I don't have any complaints. They're really not noisy and the traction has been totally fine. I saved a lot of money on these. They were a really good price and I've yet to regret it. One of the biggest and best mods I've put on this truck is this coastal off-road bumper. This has been a great addition to the truck. Aesthetically, it really accents the truck well and makes it look updated. Especially on the 00 to 02 trucks, they just look super old and kind of outdated. The bumper takes care of that and removes some of the unwanted chrome. The bumper has a really nice approach angle, really high clearance line. It's sturdy, but it does not take up extra space. It protects the front end really well. It has bars going all the way around the grille and the headlights. It's a great recovery point. It'll allow me to add a winch in the future, which will make my rig much more capable for solo outings. Right behind the bumper is a TRD Pro Style grill from Taco Vinyl. If you're enjoying this content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up so that this video can spread to other people and so that I know it's useful. Also, please be sure to check your lower ball joints. Thank you so much. I've gone through a lot of camper shells. My first one was a soft topper, and then I quickly moved on to a snug top shell. Right now I have this white Covermaster shell. It's an old brand, it's discontinued, but I still have been able to find parts for it. There's a couple things that are really perfect about it. One, it has wind doors, otherwise known as contractor windows. This is the only way to go for camper shells, period. If you have the choice and the ability to get wind doors, being able to access gear from the side of the truck is a massive time saver. The lines are more square on this cab, so the snug top looked kind of grandpa-ish, with super smooth rounded lines. This is a little more square, a little harder corners, so visually it's a big upgrade over the snug top. For a basic camping and off-roading setup, you can't beat the functionality of a camper shell. Keeps your gear dry and secure, and you can also use it as an area to sleep under. There's little to no effect on MPG. This is a very practical setup that I've been very happy with on my truck. Moving on to the interior, so I added this simple and economical Kenwood head unit. This allows me to play music and charge my phone, which is my main concern for long drives. I can also answer calls hands-free through Bluetooth thanks to the mic it came with. I tried to pick a stereo that fit the aesthetic of the truck as much as I could. I like this one since it's fairly low key and it has a nice big volume knob, which is really the only button that I have to touch when I'm using it. The install was very easy. I have a video detailing that. At the same time, I upgraded my door speakers. I went with some simple kicker door speakers. I didn't need top of the line equipment, just something that would pair well with my head unit and be on a budget. These speakers were also a nostalgic choice. They're the same series of speakers I put in my first vehicle when I got my driver's license. I also added this little phone holder. I know it's not really a super big modification, but this seriously makes road trips much easier. On my first camping trip, I didn't know where to put my phone, and I'd have to swap between the cup holder, somewhere in the passenger seat. It sucked. Lastly, I have a pretty detailed truck camping setup in the bed. The construction is just sheets of 1/2 and 3/8 inch plywood. The driver's side allows for 2 toolboxes that I have to be stored underneath it and slid out onto the tailgate. With these 2 unfolding boxes, this is a great workbench setup. I have easy access to all my tools and gear, and they're mobile. Since they're all stored in boxes, I can move them to other places, and I'm not limited to working out of my truck. The passenger side is untouched except for along the line of the wheel wells. This is where I sleep or store camping bins in a cooler while driving. Sleeping on this side allows me to more or less sit straight up and have shelves on either side of my mattress. I also have a slot for my cooking stove, as well as a bottle of propane, which is nifty. The sleeping area is perfect for solo camping and about 30 inches wide. The driver's side shelf is also suitable for sleeping at closer to 20 inches wide. The platform doesn't slide around or shift very much. The wheel well cutouts that I made in the platform keep it in place as well as the tailgate. It's fit perfectly to the truck bed. Attached to the ceiling of my shell, I have a net and lights. The lights provide soft, ambient lighting for cooking or working, and the net holds my Reflectix panels up and out of the way until they need to be deployed at night for installation. The Reflectix panels attach via Velcro self-adhesive pads. So far, so good. This has worked. I'm wondering though, in the summer, if the self-adhesive might melt and not work as well. We'll have to see. For me, building a Tundra is all about making it great at what it's already good at. With a modest V8 and a 6-foot bed, this is the perfect road trip truck on a budget. It can cruise easily at 70 miles an hour, but it's also small and nimble, perfect for reaching a lot of nice camping spots and off-grid areas. So I built it around doing just that. I didn't weigh it down with heavy steel equipment or toss massive tires on it. I leveled the truck, added the minimal amount of protection and recovery points via the front bumper, and then left the truck mostly alone. Then I built out the truck bed so that I could go camping, haul snowboarding gear, and sleep in the back. This truck is all about being flexible, super comfortable to drive, and ready and equipped for any kind of travel or recreation. Keeping everything simple and keeping a lot of the factory equipment makes this truck reliable and easy to work on. I didn't even have to touch the engine. The engine already runs great. This is the simple first-gen Tundra build on a budget. Go pick up this truck and do something like this to it, and you'll have a great all-around rig. I recommend some of these videos to see some of my favorite mods for the truck, how to maintain the truck, and all other kinds of things. Thanks for watching.